Now coming to your glorious journey of being working as an employee and then obviously then taking up the entrepreneurship. Today there is a lot of hoo-halla about what is a work-life balance. Like I've also interacted with you. I've understood that you being working in an organization morning 8 o'clock to night 11 o'clock, you've been captured in the work, and anytime you can be called in the plant for any sort of emergencies. Now today the students, whoever are taking various streams of education or taking up a career path, they always sit and talk about work-life balance. Now, do you think there is an existing work-life balance? Number one, because even I have not experienced a work-life balance. There is always a tilt toward either the family or either towards the work. So there's no balance as such. So what's your take on that, and what do you think? How that can be changed or it can be influenced?
Again, a very interesting question and a little controversial too.
Yes.
Given the current status of so many statements coming across from the top business owners of today.
Correct.
Again, I'll have to go back in time when I started my work. So fresh out of bits, and I was all pumped up. And here I was joining a leading public sector, Navratna at that time, Steel Authority of India Limited.
Wow. Okay.
And when I started working there, I had no exposure about how work used to happen in other places. But so I got used to it. For 17 years, I worked and worked and worked and worked. Of course, in between I got married, I had kids. And after 17 years, I had a feeling that was I giving enough time to my family? There was a time, And then I decided, okay, let me get to a private sector. Probably there I can get more time for myself. And that's how I came to Bombay to join Ispat Industries. Currently it's JSW. And when I came here, I further realized that you have to travel 2 hours to work, travel back 2 hours home. The rest 10 hours or 12 hours you're working in the plant. So finally you don't have even more, you don't have any time for your family. Right? So these were 2 jobs that I did in India. And then I got an opportunity to go abroad. And so for an instrumentation engineer, a dream is to have a job in an oil and gas or a petrochemical sector. So when I shifted from steel to petrochemicals, and that was in Saudi, that was another culture shock for me.
Correct.
Right? Not because it was Saudi Arabia. Not because it was Saudi Arabia. It was because that company was owned by the Americans and the Europeans. The money was pumped in by the Saudi. And the atmosphere of working there was something which I had never experienced. There I got a 5-day job, 8-hour week job. Fixed. You are not supposed to work after your working hours. If you are required to work after your working hours, you are paid for that. If you are asked to be on standby for a job, which could happen in the night, you are paid for that too, even if you are at home. So that was the culture. And the best part was it that 8 hours you are treated like a professional and you work like a professional. So you're giving an output. And then you had 2 full days. Your weekend was off for your family. And here I was realizing, wow, more work is getting done. You are happy being a part of your family. And that is giving you a better result. And that is giving you a better confidence. You're happy in life. And probably that is the reason why you are giving more.
Absolutely.
Now, so when I came back after quitting my job and I started in my consulting, and finally today when I'm into manufacturing as well, I felt, and again this is my personal opinion, that what I did not need as an employee. Like, so for me, for an employee, when I was working either in sale or here, I was always on the job. My boss expected me to be on the job always. It is not only that, you also get tuned to the conditions. So you're working in that setup only. Was I happy doing that? I sometimes was, sometimes not. But still I had to work. And I realized that whenever I was happy, I used to contribute more. So today, when as an entrepreneur, when I have workmen in my factory, I think and back to those times, right? So probably if my workmen are happy, they will give contribution more. So I am of that opinion that yes, there should be a work-life balance. You should know when to give maximum to your work, when to give maximum time to your family. Because that is one thing which I learned there when I was in Saudi. That first, You should be the priority. You means me, my health, my well-being should be the first priority. Second is the family should come second. Third is work. And the fourth is recreation and other things. So that priority I understood. And probably I have ingrained in myself that that should be the way going forward. Whether it is going to work in India, I'm not very sure, because Indian conditions are different. That's again, I mean, everyone have their own thoughts. Probably we feel that if we are not on top of someone, if we're not pressurizing someone, then work comes. But I don't think pressurizing someone can give you work. So pressure could be in the terms of not only in the work output, but also on the time that you give for work. So I am very clear that yes, I mean, what is important is that particular time that you devote to work, do it well. Devote to family, do it well. Do everything in balance. So that is what is my personal thought process.
Thank you so much. I mean,